The first time Olivia said those words, Ethan laughed. A real laugh. The kind that comes from disbelief, not happiness. Because standing there in the middle of a crowded bus stop in Portland, Oregon, with a torn grocery bag in his hand and vegetables rolling across the sidewalk, Ethan couldn't imagine a world where someone like Olivia would ever choose someone like him. And yet, years later, those words would become the reason he survived the darkest chapter of his life. Before we begin, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of seeing someone's heart instead of their circumstances, please take a moment to like this video. Leave a comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories. It was a bright Saturday afternoon when Ethan first met Olivia. At 32 years old, Ethan felt as though life had quietly passed him by. He worked long shifts at a warehouse outside the city, lived in a small apartment, spent most evenings alone. While his friends had built families and successful careers, he felt stuck in the same place year after year. His confidence had slowly disappeared. Every morning he looked in the mirror and saw someone ordinary, someone forgettable. That afternoon, he was carrying groceries home after finishing an overtime shift, exhausted and distracted. He didn't notice a crack in the sidewalk near the bus stop. His bag ripped open, sending apples, bread, and vegetables tumbling. Everywhere, people walked past without stopping. Some glanced at him, most ignored him. Then a young woman in workout clothes crouched beside him and started gathering his groceries without saying a word. The sunlight reflected in her dark hair as she handed him an apple and smiled. For a moment, Ethan forgot how to speak. She looked confident, successful, and completely out of place beside someone like him. After they finished collecting everything, they sat waiting for the same bus. The conversation started naturally. They talked about work, books, coffee, life. By the time the bus arrived, Ethan realized he hadn't laughed that much in years. When Olivia asked for his number before getting off, he honestly thought she was joking. But she wasn't. Over the next few weeks, they texted constantly. Then came coffee dates, long walks, late-night conversations about dreams neither of them had shared with anyone else. The more time Ethan spent with Olivia, the more confused he became. She was intelligent, beautiful, compassionate, and ambitious. He was just Ethan, a warehouse worker with an old car, and a collection of self-doubts he carried everywhere. One evening, while they sat beside the Willamette River watching the sunset paint the sky orange and gold, Ethan finally said what had been bothering him for months. He joked, "You're way out of my league." Olivia looked at him quietly, then she smiled. "That's why I chose you." Those words hit him harder than he expected. Not because they sounded romantic, but because she said them as though they were obvious. As though she saw something in him that he couldn't see himself. For the first time in years, Ethan wondered if maybe he wasn't as invisible as he thought. Their relationship grew stronger. But life has a way of testing happiness when you least expect it. 6 months later, Ethan's warehouse announced major layoffs. The company was downsizing. Hundreds of workers were affected, including him. The day he lost his job, he sat alone in his car for nearly 2 hours before driving home. He felt numb, humiliated, terrified. Everything he had worked for suddenly disappeared. The bills didn't stop. Rent didn't stop. Life didn't stop. Only his paycheck did. Over the next several months, Ethan applied for countless jobs. Most never responded. Some rejected him immediately. Every rejection chipped away at his confidence. The old insecurities returned stronger than ever. He began avoiding friends. Stopped answering calls. Stopped believing in himself. Deep down, he became convinced Olivia would eventually realize she deserved someone better. Someone successful. Someone stable. Someone who wasn't constantly struggling. The fear consumed him. One rainy evening, Ethan finally admitted his worries. He told Olivia she should leave. He told her she deserved more. He told her he was holding her back. What happened next surprised him. Olivia didn't argue. She didn't get angry. Instead, She took his hand and reminded him of the day they met. She reminded him how he had helped elderly neighbors carry groceries every week, how he volunteered at a local food pantry, despite working overtime, how he always listened when others needed support, how he remembered small details about people that everyone else forgot. She reminded him of things money could never buy: character, kindness, integrity, heart, the things she had noticed long before he ever noticed her. For the first time, Ethan realized Olivia hadn't fallen in love with his circumstances. She had fallen in love with the person he was. That realization changed everything. Slowly, he began rebuilding himself. Not his career, not his finances. Himself. He started exercising again, reading again, volunteering more often. He focused on becoming someone he could respect regardless of his bank account. Months passed. Opportunities slowly appeared. A volunteer coordinator introduced him to a small logistics company looking for supervisors. The position wasn't glamorous, but it was a chance. Ethan took it. His work ethic quickly stood out. Within 2 years, he earned promotions and greater responsibilities. For the first time in his life, he felt proud of what he had achieved. Yet something even more important had changed. His confidence no longer depended on his job title, because Olivia had taught him a lesson success never could. His value existed before any promotion, before any paycheck, before any achievement. Then came another unexpected challenge. Olivia's father suffered a serious stroke. The family was devastated. Hospital visits became routine. Medical expenses piled up. Stress consumed everyone. This time, the roles reversed. Now Olivia was the one struggling. Now she was the one questioning whether she was strong enough. And Ethan never left her side. Every early morning hospital visit, every difficult conversation, every frightening update from doctors. He was there. Sometimes he brought coffee. Sometimes he brought silence. Sometimes he simply sat beside her and held her hand. Because love isn't proven during easy seasons. Love reveals itself during the hard ones. Months later, as Olivia's father slowly recovered, she confessed something that Ethan would never forget. She told him there were nights she felt completely broken. Nights she thought she couldn't handle another day. But seeing him beside her gave her strength. The same way she had once given him strength. That was when Ethan finally understood something beautiful. Real relationships aren't about finding someone perfect. They're about finding someone willing to stay. Someone willing to believe in you when you stop believing in yourself. Someone willing to carry hope for both of you until you can stand again. Years passed. The couple eventually married in a small ceremony surrounded by family and friends. Nothing extravagant, nothing flashy. Just laughter, tears, and genuine love. As Ethan stood at the altar watching, Olivia walked toward him. He remembered the broken grocery bag, the bus stop, the apple she handed him, the smile that changed everything. Most of all, he remembered those words. "That's why I chose you." Because she never chose him for what he owned. She chose him for who he was. And in doing so, she helped him become the person he was always meant to be. If you're still watching, please leave a comment saying, "Real love sees the heart." It helps us know who stayed until the end of this emotional journey. Today, Ethan often tells people that the greatest gift Olivia ever gave him wasn't love. It was perspective. She showed him that worth isn't measured by status, appearance, money, or success. It's measured by the way you treat people when nobody is watching. It's measured by kindness when kindness isn't required. It's measured by the courage to keep going when life gives you every reason to quit. And sometimes, the person who changes your life forever arrives during the most ordinary moment imaginable. A bus stop, a torn grocery bag, a simple act of kindness. If this story touched your heart, inspired you, or reminded you of someone special in your life, please like the video, share it with others, leave a comment below, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps these stories reach people who may need hope, encouragement, and a reminder that they are worthy of love, exactly as they are. Because somewhere out there, someone may already be seeing in you the beauty you've never learned to see in yourself. And just like Ethan discovered, the right person won't choose you despite your imperfections. They'll choose you because of the person you are underneath them. And sometimes, that makes all the difference in the world.